You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
In the studio with Cassy. She's going to be telling us all about herself as a blogger and an art consultant. She's here to tell us a lot more about that. Cassy, it's great to have you here at BRFM.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Now, I was wondering perhaps if we could start off by you telling us a little bit about yourself, Cassy.
Yeah, sure. As you mentioned, I'm an independent arts consultant and I work on lots of different projects and events, managing them and also kind of doing things like evaluation. I'm also a style blogger. And I just love working kind of with creative people on creative projects, and my interests go right across the arts. I studied literature at university, so writing's a real passion of mine, hence the blogging. But I love dance, theatre, music, art. So, and I've lived here in Kent for about 10 years now. I work all across Kent and up in London a bit as well. And but I just love it here. I live over in Herne Bay at the moment.
So could you tell us a little bit about your career so far, Cassy?
Yeah, well, when I left university, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and my first job was actually a finance role. And previously to that, I'd done lots of part-time work, and the ones I enjoyed were in the bookshop, record store, and arts bar because I loved talking to people about creative things. So I started to look for something which was closer to my interests and ended up moving here to Kent for a job at Canterbury City Council in their culture team, just as an admin assistant. And I loved it as it involved lots of arts, events and sports, and I got to organise a couple of really big conferences. And that's where I got introduced to arts development. I hadn't heard of it really before I joined the council. It's basically arts development officers will work with local artists and arts organisations and work strategically to try and help them on their way. And not all councils have these, so I was very lucky to have this position. I got promoted to arts development officer after about 3 years, and then as an arts development officer, I ran Herne Bay Festival for 3 years, managed the very first Canterbury Laureate Scheme, which is now under the control of Canterbury Festival,
right,
and is going from strength to strength each year. It's now the Wise Words Festival. And I also managed small funding grants, gave advice to artists, and created the Creative Canterbury website and online database. So it was really varied. But after 6 very happy years there, I left to become a management consultant with a Kent-based company called Year One Consulting. And there I got to work on lots of different projects of really interesting clients. I worked on recruitment campaigns, wrote HR policies. I was an interim business manager for an animation company. I managed a youth arts programme down in Folkestone. And I helped develop and create a creative career masterclass for young people. I'm still an associate at Year One. They're a really great company and I love working with them. But it's quite exciting now to be working on some of my own projects. I'm currently reviewing a voluntary arts organisation and helping a charity with their digital marketing. And I'm also, from December, I'm going to be the Arts Development UK Regional South East representative. So Arts Development UK is a national organisation full of arts development officers from councils, but also arts consultants and people working in arts development. So I'll be looking forward to meeting any members that are here in Swale, and if you're not a member and you'd like to find out more about it, then please get in touch with me.
Now, Cassy, I also understand you're a trustee of some organisations.
I am indeed. I'm a trustee of 2 organisations. Earlier this year I joined the board of Sound Connections, and they're a youth music charity. They're based up in East London, and they work with young people and other organisations on music programmes for children and young people up to the age of 24 years old right across London, and do singing training and organise networking events, and they're a really great charity to work with. And more locally, I'm also on the board of a local not-for-profit Animates art company. Listeners might already know Jo Dyer. She's got a great reputation in Kent, and if your listeners don't, their children might, as there's lots of great school workshops that she does. She created a paper sitting room for Gravesend, and also a paper garden last year, working with school children to create beautiful flowers out of paper. She's done lots of different school workshops, recreating arts masterpieces and making costumes, and even kind of writing Dear Santa letters. So if anyone out there, teachers, were looking for school workshops, look up Animates Arts Company.
Cassy, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about being a blogger this evening.
Yes, it's become a big part of my life now. I write a blog about fashion, style and culture. It's called Living a Girl's Adventure Tale, which is named after one of my favourite songs by old 80s band a-ha.
Right.
But it focuses mainly on vintage fashion, as that's where my interest is. But also lots of kind of style influences as well. There's some designer things on there that I talk about, and Japanese street fashion as well. It all started a couple of years ago when I did something called Dressember. I wore a dress every day through December. I took a photo of myself and shared it online with lots of other ladies who were also doing it. And then it decided from there to start a blog so I could post lots of pictures of me wearing nice clothes and to talk about it. I was saying earlier about how writing really is my passion. So it's one of those hobbies that it's just really good fun. I love writing and I love kind of interacting with other people on the internet. At the moment, I'm doing something called Socktober, where I'm wearing different colour socks and taking photos of them every day through October. And it is a bit silly, it's a bit fun, but I like to write about kind of positive things and try new things. And I just enjoy kind of clothes and style and life in general. So I try and blog about all those things, as well as kind of events I go to. So if I go to kind of really good music gigs or an arts exhibition and anything I'm involved with, flash mob I was involved with recently, I blogged about. And it's just a great online community. There's so many bloggers out there that share interests, and you'll get to talk to people across the other side of the world that you'd never get to talk to in real life. So I definitely recommend it. I'm not necessarily a website guru, but it was easy to set up, and there's plenty of sites like Blogger and WordPress out there, and I'd really recommend it.
Do you have any advice on how to get involved in art projects?
Yes, there's loads of things you can do, and I think the arts are a great thing to get involved with at any time and at any age. First of all, I'd recommend going and seeing as much as possible, whether it's festivals, music, performance, theatre, spoken word or art exhibitions. Just find out what's happening around you locally. There'll be lots of free things that you don't already know about, and sometimes you just have to kind of go and investigate and explore your own doorstep. If you sign up to mailing lists for any local venues and arts organisations, you'll find out about loads of things. Also, sign up for Arts Jobs and Arts News, which are the newsletters and opportunities list from Arts Council England, which is artsjobs.org.uk. And they're a great source of information from right across the UK as well. But they'll have lots of local things. You can do a search. And also, I'd recommend volunteering. I love being a trustee, and if you don't want the responsibility of being a trustee, there's lots of festivals and events that look for advisory group members or people to help out and volunteer on events. Or if you're studying at the moment and you're thinking about a career in the arts, I'd definitely recommend contacting places to do a work experience placement. I'd also recommend that you approach arts organisations or events that you really admire and that you can learn from. That's much better than trying to get involved in an event that you want to change. Try and find something really kind of positive you can do and that will help you on your way. And if all else fails, you could also start your own arts project. It doesn't have to be huge, and you can start small and just see what happens next.
Before you go, Cassy, were there any useful contact details you'd like to give out?
Yeah, you can contact me through on lots of social media. On Twitter, I'm at Cassy Fry, and my name is spelled CASSYFRY. So if you just at me, I'll get back to you. You can follow my blog, which is www.livingagirlsadventuretale.blogspot.co.uk. And if you wanted to get in touch with Animate Arts Company, who I mentioned earlier, visit our website. That's www.animateartscompany.com.
Cassy, it's been really great to have you here. Thank you very much for telling us all about what you do.
Thank you for having me.
That's Cassy Fry here at BRFM 95.6. Cassy, an independent arts consultant and a style blogger.